President Trump is proposing two big changes to Social Security. One of them involves Social Security taxes, and then the other is five proposals that are in front of the president to fix Social Security. There's a lot to cover today, so stay with me. And if you stay till the end, you're going to learn how to save $1,100 on Medicare costs during this Medicare Advantage open enrollment. I have an amazing partner, Chapter Medicare, that I want to share with you and how they can help you save on your Medicare. Now, if you're new to this channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because all we do is bring you the latest news and update in and out of Congress that will affect your Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and any personal finance topics that impact seniors. So, should Social Security benefits be taxed? Whether you are already retired or approaching retirement or just starting your career, understanding these proposal changes that the president is proposing is going to be crucial for your financial planning. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how Social Security taxation works, what changes are being proposed by President Trump, and most importantly, how this could affect your retirement income. Let's get to it. So when the president campaigned, he proposed no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, and no taxes on overtime pay. That was something he campaigned very big on. And he's on record at saying, in his own words, seniors should not pay taxes on Social Security, and they won't. That is the president being quoted directly. And then on Fox News, he said, no tax for seniors on Social Security, and I'll get it done quickly. And for all you waiters and waitresses, we are not going to tax any on we're not going to put tax on tips. So this is really clear. And so now let's talk about what this all means. And the president released a proposal just yesterday, February the 6th, that details his tax proposals and what he wants to do with Social Security. I'm going to fill you in. So this was pre-election. Now, if you're watching this right now, I want you to let me know where you're watching from, your city and your state. So put that in the chat and let's continue with this important breaking news. So pre-election, the president was very clear and he was widely covered about this. Trump wants to cut income taxes on Social Security. Here's how it would affect your benefits. That is from CBS. And then you have money, how Trump's plan to end Social Security taxes would actually work. There was a lot of coverage on this. This is the AP covering the same news and so forth and so on. So it was pretty clear. So now, what is the post-election reality? Well, yesterday, the president came up with a proposal. Trump spells out tax plan for House GOP leaders in White House meeting. This is from yesterday. So this is breaking news, and I'm going to get into all the details. So stay with me till the end because this is really, really important. I'm going to unpack a lot of things here today. And so, yes, continue to let me know where you're watching from. I'm seeing Boston, Miami, New York City, Washington, D.C., and so forth. So stay till the end of this video. I'm going to show you how to save $1,100 with our Medicare Advantage partner during this enrollment, this open enrollment. So you can call Chapter at 539-205-2147. I'm going to give you the 3 reasons why this is my first Medicare partner and why. So still to the end on how to save money on Medicare. Let's get back to the president. So the press secretary yesterday said, promise kept, promise made, promise kept. And the White House released their tax plan and include no taxes on Social Security. This was a big news. So let's get into the details of it. So this is from Politico. President Trump laid out his tax priorities in a group of House Republican lawmakers at the White House on Thursday, which is just yesterday, including dusted off proposals to boost taxes on financial titans, eliminating tax breaks for owners of sports teams. Trump also reiterated the promise he made on the campaign trail to renew expiring provisions of his 2017 tax cuts, which is a massive bill I'm going to talk about, as well as eliminate taxes on overtime pay, tips, and Social Security, according to the White House press secretary. So this is Axios, and it's saying Trump is also pushing to renew his 2017 tax cuts, agile SALT cap, and to implement tax cuts for goods made in the US. And then part of all that is the no taxes on Social Security. Administration officials informed Republican leaders that they were stressing Trump's no tax on tips proposal, as well as ending taxes on Social Security benefits and overtime pay. So this is the detail of that proposal that came out yesterday. I'm going to unpack it in detail for you so that you understand how this is going to impact your Social Security benefit. And this is according to Newsweek. According to the data from the Social Security Administration, there are 67.5 million Social Security beneficiaries in the nation as of March 2024. Of that, 75.1% were retired workers, 10.8% were disabled workers, and family members of deceased workers made up 8.6% of the total, while family members of retired or disabled workers represented 5.4%. So who will be affected by Trump's plan? Well, seniors who earn less than $25,000 per year or combined income of 32 for married people already do not pay taxes on Social Security. However, based on Social Security Administration data, 27 million beneficiaries pay income taxes on their monthly benefits. These are the people who generally receive other substantial income in addition to their Social Security benefits, meaning that the wealthier retirees will be the beneficiaries of Trump's proposed tax cut. I want to make that very clear. Of the 67 million people receiving Social Security benefits, 27 million people pay taxes on their Social Security benefits because they get substantial income from other sources. And so they are the people that are going to be benefiting from the president's no tax on Social Security proposal. So I guess the rest of you who don't pay taxes on Social Security, you're wondering, okay, what about us? What is the president going to do for us? Well, stay till the end. I'm going to show you the 5 proposals that the president is considering right now to fix Social Security, to extend its life and benefit seniors. But let's talk about the tax cut. Taxpayers filing individual tax returns may be able to pay up to 50% of their Social Security benefit if their combined income is 25 and 34%. If it is more than 34,000, beneficiaries may pay up to 85% of their Social Security checks in taxes. These taxes represent a significant source of revenue for the program. So the taxes that you pay on your Social Security benefits is also a source of revenue for the Social Security Trust Fund. And it contributes about 3.8%, almost 4% of the money that comes into the Social Security Trust Fund. So it's an important source of revenue. So if the president eliminates it, the Social Security Trust Fund is losing about 4% of the revenue that comes in. And some may say it is worth it. So let's talk about it. So the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, which is a nonpartisan committee, looked at the president's proposal and said if Trump extends his tax cuts from 2017, does the Social Security no taxes thing, no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime pay, it is going to cost between 5 to 11 trillion, and it's going to push the national debt into 132%, up to 149% of the GDP by 2035. So what does that really look like? Here is the president's tax proposal that he showed yesterday, and what is going to cost to implement it, and how it affects the debt and the deficit in the next 10 years. So if you look there, I've highlighted cuts to Social Security taxes. It's going to cost on the low side 550 billion, and on the high side 1.5 trillion. But that is on the lower side compared to what the president's tax cut, extending his 2017 tax cut, is going to cost. That's going to cost $3.9 trillion, and on the high side, $4.8 trillion. So if you put all the tax proposal that the president put together yesterday, it's going to cost between 5 trillion to 11.2 trillion. And so this is not cheap. So let's get into it. So how did we get here that even Social Security is getting taxed, and now we are in a situation where we have to debate whether it should be taxed or not? And then I'm going to explain President Trump's plan to fix Social Security. There's 5 proposals in front of the president that Republicans in Congress are reviewing, and I'm going to share them with you. So this all started in 1984 with President Reagan. Social Security payments were not federally taxed. So the federal government until 1984 did not tax Social Security benefits. When President Reagan was in office, the administration implemented rules that tax up to 50% of benefits if the recipient's income exceeds a certain threshold. A decade later, Bill Clinton's administration increased the portion of benefits that could be taxed to up to 85%. That is where it is today. So, over 72 million Americans collect Social Security benefits each month. Most recipients, up to 60%, already do not pay taxes on their benefits. So, the other 40% is what the president's proposal is going to impact. Now, as I said, taxes on Social Security bring money into the Social Security Trust Fund. And so it contributes money that is important. And removing that tax cut, removing that taxes from the table is going to cost $50 billion at least to really implement every year. And over 10 years, I've shown you it's going to cost about at least $550 billion over 10 years. And I've explained to you what the Committee for Federal Budget is showing, that eliminating taxes on Social Security is not free. It's going to cost money. But the president is determined to do it. And I think a lot of seniors are with him. And so I can see how this is going to pass, because the Republicans have the Congress, the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So if this is what they're going to do, it is very likely that it's going to happen. But there are costs to it, and it's going to affect how much money is in the Social Security Trust Fund. There is no doubt about that. So let's talk about the modern hidden tax. The average retired couple making $50,000 in Social Security benefits and $30,000 from other sources is going to pay between $30,000 to $4,000 in taxes. Think about that. If you're making $50,000 together in Social Security benefits and you have maybe $30,000 from a 401k or something, you're going to pay about $3,000 to $4,000 alone, and it's a significant burden on seniors. But here is the thing that a lot of people don't know. If you took something from today's presentation, if you took something from my video today, this is the best thing I want you to take from today's video. The reason why a lot of seniors end up paying taxes on their Social Security benefit is because the current thresholds have been frozen since 1983. If you are single, you don't pay taxes on $25,000 or less in Social Security benefits. If you are married, you don't pay taxes on $32,000 or less. I don't even know why they didn't double the married couple portion. Why is a single person allowed to only pay up to $25,000, and then married couples should be $50,000, but they made it $32,000? That is another conversation for another day. But let's focus on what I'm trying to have you take from this video. The reason why a lot of seniors are paying Social Security taxes is because the threshold has been frozen. Now, before I get any further, there's 557 of you watching right now. Let me know your city and state in the comment. Where are you watching from? Because I always want to know where my viewers are coming from and the diverse geography where you guys are watching from. So let me know your city and state in the comments. But let's get back to what we're talking about. Since 1983, they haven't lifted the cap. 1983, $32,000 and $25,000 back then was a different amount. And so what has happened is that over time, something that was supposed to be taxing the rich, or at least the higher income earners, because Congress has frozen the threshold since 1983. I mean, if you bought a loaf of bread in 1983, it doesn't cost the same in 2025. So why have we frozen the Social Security threshold? And so what has happened is that over time, more seniors have been caught up in the threshold. So people who were high income earners back in 1983 are now in a different category. And then low income seniors who are making maybe $30,000 in Social Security benefits are now caught up in something that was designed to tax higher income earners back in 1983. And so, had the government, had Congress adjusted the Social Security threshold for taxes to keep up with inflation, the threshold would have been $99,000 today for couples and $77,000 today for for singles, which means that a majority of Social Security recipients would not have had to deal with taxes anyway. But because Congress has frozen that threshold, now more lower income seniors are being caught up in that net. And that is the hidden tax. And nobody's talking about it, but it's the biggest reason why we're even in this situation where a lot of seniors are paying taxes on their Social Security benefits. And so up to 85% of Social Security benefits can be subject to federal income tax, shocking to many who pay taxes on contributions during their working years. And the rationale is that the average retiree only contributes about 15% of their lifetime benefits through their payroll taxes. That is also actually true. So there's 1.2 trillion in payroll taxes that come out, and the government is paying 1.4 trillion in benefits. And so there is a deficit. So the reason that President Trump is trying to fix Social Security is because of this deficit. There is a real problem where the government is not bringing enough Social Security revenue compared to what it's paying out. There is a 200 billion deficit, and that is always taken out of the Social Security Trust Fund. But that trust fund is going to run out of money by 2035 because taking 200 billion each year from that trust fund is going to be emptied out from what it's in right now unless Congress does something about it. So there's about $2.7 trillion in the Social Security Trust Fund. And if you take $200 billion and growing in deficit every year out of that pot, very soon it's going to run out. So there are several solutions, and I'm going to talk about the 5 proposals soon so that you can understand what is in front of the president. But what I want to tell you is that right now, a single retiree who is caught up in this Social Security trap or Social Security hidden tax is burdened with a tax that they shouldn't have paid in the first place had Congress done the right thing to increase the threshold and adjust it for inflation. Because what was considered low income back in 1983 is not the same right now. And so the biggest solution would have been to just match the threshold to inflation. So, what am I saying? Well, here is the thing. Social Security is an important program. The average middle class worker today is getting over $1 million in lifetime benefits based on a typical 2,000 monthly average benefit over 25 to 30 years. There are some people who are getting Social Security benefits for 25 years and are getting an average of 2,000. Then you're going to get $1 million in benefits over that period. And your typical contribution over a 35-year period, the average contribution is 300,000. So you're contributing 30% into it, you're getting $1 million. And part of it is also because employer-employee contribution total is the 300,000. The employee's contribution is only 150,000. So the typical Social Security recipient has contributed $150,000 into the system, and on average is going to get about $1 million in benefit over 25 years if they are getting $2,000 on average over 25 years minimum. So you can see that it's a very effective program. It is helping seniors and lifting a lot of seniors out of poverty, but the program is in trouble and something has to be done about it. So let's talk about some of the structural reasons why the Social Security program is in trouble. Well, the first thing is that there's a demographic issue. The worker to beneficiary ratio is declining dramatically. It used to be that there was 3.4 worker to 1 beneficiary receiving Social Security benefits in 2000. Today, it is 2.8 worker to 1 retiree, or 2.8 workers to 1 retiree. And that is even projected to get worse By 2035, it's going to be 2.3 workers to one retiree. So clearly, there's dwindling number of people who are paying into the system. But then with the baby boomer generation retiring at record rates, there is also a growing number of people who are taking from the system. So now something has to be done to balance that out. On top of that, Medicare cost is rising faster than inflation and Social Security COLA. Many retirees see Social Security raises consumed by higher Medicare premiums. This year, Medicare premiums, Medicare Plan B, went up 6%, but your Social Security cost of living adjustment went up by 2.5%. So that is also compounding the burden on seniors. And you throw in Social Security taxes on top of that, and then you can see how things are getting out of whack for a lot of seniors and why a lot of seniors are struggling. So let's talk about what the president is looking at to fix Social Security. There are 5 proposals that Republicans in Congress are looking at and submitting to the president. Now, let me tell you, I want to hear from you about each of these 5 proposals. So stay with me till the end. I want to hear what you think because I'm going to explain each proposal in detail and you tell me which one you think is the most appropriate way to fix the problem that I just explained to you, which is the deficit, the 200 billion deficit that is going to cause an automatic 20% cut in Social Security benefits by 2035 if nothing is done. So the first proposal is to raise the retirement age. The current Republican proposal suggests raising the retirement age from 67 to 69. That is the full retirement age. President Reagan raised it from 65 to 67. Now you can still collect Social Security early at 62, but to get your full benefits that you have earned, your full retirement age is when you get that. And that is currently 67 or 66 years and change for some people, depending on where you were born. And now there's a proposal to increase that to 69. Here's why. This change will address 20 to 30% of the projected funding shortfall, making it a significant potential solution. However, critics point out that many people in physical labor jobs cannot work into their late 60s, making this change particularly burdensome for certain workers. There is also equity concerns. The proposal would disproportionately affect lower income workers who often have a lot shorter life expectancy and more physically demanding jobs. So this is proposal number 1, raising the retirement age. Let me know what you think in the comments. Proposal number 2, which is probably going to upset a lot of seniors, is that they want to slow down how much increase you get in Social Security COLA. Already, a lot of seniors are upset about this year's COLA, which was 2.5%. Last year was 3.2. The year before, it was 8.7. And the year before, it was 5.9 when COVID was here and inflation was very high. So it's been trending down and it's at 2.5%. Now they want to cut it further. Reducing cost of living adjustment by 0.5% would impact both current and future beneficiaries, making it an immediately effective but potentially controversial solution. This change will address approximately 29% of the long-term gap. So it's a big solution, making it more effective than raising the retirement age. Unlike other proposals, this would affect all beneficiaries, making it more equitable, but potentially unpopular solution. And here's another thing. The impact of reduced COLA compounds over time, potentially significantly reducing the purchasing power for a long period of time for seniors. So basically, the already diminished purchasing power of Social Security benefits is going to be made worse if proposal number 2 is implemented. Let me know what you think in the comments. Proposal number 3 is payroll tax changes. Currently, Social Security is funded by a 12.4% tax. 6.2% is paid by the employee, 6.2% is paid by the employer. Together is 12.4%. What they are proposing as proposal number 3 is to gradually increase it to 6.5% on each side. So together, it will be 13% instead of 12.4. This solution has strong backing from both parties. 85% of Republicans supported, 88% of Democrats supported, making it a politically viable solution. And this change would affect all wage earners, everybody, spreading the burden across the entire workforce rather than targeting specific group with the previous solutions. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think the payroll tax should be bumped? The Social Security payroll tax should be bumped to 6.5% for employees and 6.5% for employers, raising it from 12.4 to 13%. Let me know your comments. Proposal number 4, which I think makes a lot of sense, is that as of 2025, Social Security taxes only apply to income up to $176,100 of earned income, creating a ceiling on contribution. Now, here is what a lot of people don't know about Social Security. It used to be that there were 2 different tiers. So this year there would have been a $176,100. If you make that amount of money, you're going to pay Social Security taxes on everything up to that limit. And then there was a second tier that was $400,000 and above. If you make anything above $400,000, you pay Social Security taxes on that. And there was something in the middle called the donut hole. Congress eliminated the top one. So now they've only kept the bottom one. And so anybody making anything about $176,000 does not pay Social Security on anything above that. What this has created is it slowed down amount of money that's coming into the system. So new legislation suggests imposing Social Security taxes on income above $250,000. So they're going to eliminate the donut hole and create a new one. So they're going to have 176,000 and then 250,000 and above, and create a tiny donut hole. This will only affect the highest 4% of the population, while potentially, hear this, this is the critical part. If they do this, if they put this $250,000 and above cap on Social Security taxes, while it only affects 4% of the population, it will extend the Social Security program solvency by 75 whopping years. So this solution alone fixes everything, but it's going to take political courage for our politicians to deal with this, because this is plain. Even if they bring back the 400,000 limit that they took away, that would be a lot. And then on top of that, they're proposing that they're going to close tax loopholes, because what happens is that people with multiple sources of income, especially high income earners, when a way to avoid paying Social Security taxes is to get a tiny amount of their income from earned income, and then they can take their money from investment income. So they only pay capital gains tax and then avoid Social Security taxes altogether. And a lot of wealthy people do that. So this proposal is going to also make sure that if you're making any income above 200,000, regardless of where you make it from, you are going to have to pay Social Security taxes on it. I think this is a brilliant idea, and in my opinion, this is what they should go for. Let me know your comments below. Here is an example of how that would work. If Congress had put back the 400,000 limit and above, taxpayer B, instead of paying $10,500 today, would be paying $31,000 into the Social Security pot. But because we don't have that second tier, taxpayer B is only going to pay $10,453 instead of $31,000 had Congress not eliminated the previous cap. So it is a big amount of money that the system is being robbed because Congress did away with the other limit. Proposal number 5 is means testing. Means testing will evaluate income levels to determine benefit eligibility, potentially reducing benefit for high-income retirees. The approach could reduce the program shortfall by 11%, providing a significant but not complete solution. There's strong support for it, though. Republicans are in favor of it by 90%, Democrats by 94%, and so this is popular because it's targeted. The proposal will primarily affect the top 20% of income earners, preserving full benefits for the majority of beneficiaries. So let me know, of all the 5 proposals, which one do you think the president should be pushing, the Republicans in Congress should be pushing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's talk about Medicare. I promised you that I was going to help you save 1,100 on Medicare Advantage plans. Let's talk about it now. This news is what led me down this rabbit hole. 1 million patients lose coverage as insurance, hospitals drop Medicare Advantage. This is happening across the board. A lot of people are in Medicare plans and then they get dropped and then now they are left hanging. Well, there's open enrollment now. But here's the thing. Open enrollment is from January 1st to March 31st. It's a very short window. But there are 240,000 Medicare plans. And that is why a lot of seniors are confused about it. And so studies show that 90% of seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan. And this is costing you in two ways. It's costing you money because the average couple spends 300,000 on Medicare during retirement, and it's costing you your health because you may think you have a coverage for something, or you have a particular plan, and then your plan drops you, or the hospital drops you, and then now you are left hanging. So what's the solution? Well, I have been providing content for seniors since 2011. I have websites, I have this channel, I have a YouTube TikTok channel with 100,000 subscribers. So I've been doing this for a long time. I have never recommended a Medicare partner because it never felt right until now. And now I've partnered with Chapter Medicare because they have 3 strong benefits and advantages that other Medicare providers I've talked to did not have. The first one is that they are the only free and unbiased Medicare advisor that also has access to all 24,000 Medicare plans. All of them. They are the only company advising that has access to all the plans. So what can they do with that? They can look where you live and provide you the best plan that fits your needs. Not only that, their advisors are not paid on commission. So they are not there to sell you the most expensive plan so that they can make the most commission. They are there to work with you one-on-one to align your plan with your health needs and your budget. And then here is what I promised you. On average, seniors save $1,100 per year on Medicare coverage when they work with Chapter Medicare. So call them. Time is of the essence. Act now. You can call them right now at 539-205-2147 or click in the image or the description. In my description to this video, there is a link in there that you can fill out a short form, and then they'll reach out to you and find you the best plan. And here is the thing. I have done the research. As I told you, in my 14 years, I have not recommended any Medicare plan because it didn't feel right. This feels right. I've done the research. They are highly ranked by the Better Business Bureau, and the reviews online are 5-star. You can do your own research, but call Medicare help, call Chapter. They can help you save $1,100 on your Medicare Advantage plan. Is open enrollment, so you can switch to a different plan if you want. This is the time to do it. So thank you for hanging with me today. I'm doing lives every day, bringing you the latest news and updates from Congress, anything in and out of Congress that will affect your Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps. I'm bringing it to you live. So if you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. And let me know what you think about the president's plan to eliminate taxes on Social Security. Are you happy about that? And most importantly, the 5 proposals that Congress has put forward. And the Republicans have the entire government, so they're going to do something. But these are the 5 options that they have. I want to hear from you. Which option do you think they should implement to save Social Security and extend its life? So thank you for hanging with me. Until tomorrow, have a good night.